Today I have a real highlight for all the coffee lovers out there, and we'll get you caffeinated in a slightly different way. Welcome back to Bespoke Unit, and this is another spirits review for you here on our channel. Get your glasses ready, and thank you for tuning in. Hello and welcome everybody to another spirits review here at Bespoke Unit. We'll be doing a liqueur review and a very particular coffee liqueur that is. Today I'll be drinking together with you the Fair Café Liqueur. Fair is quite an interesting company that is a bit more than 10 years old and specialized in fair trade spirits. And by that, obviously it means every single component of the spirits in the overall production need to be fair trade certified. With the fair trade liqueur in particular, what they're using here is 100% Arabica coffee beans from Mexico, which are then mixed together with spirits and fair trade sugar in the cognac region of France. Fair Drinks as a company is an Anglo-French combination which is now globally distributed and has truly set the mark and has set the bar for all the liqueur and spirits manufacturing companies out there when it comes to fair trade, organic and vegan certified spirits. Let's pour a glass and get right to it. I have an old bottle of the Café Liqueur here because nowadays it comes in a 70 cl bottle that is slightly differently shaped, but this was one of their first renditions, a semi bottle or a half bottle with 350 milliliters. The alcohol by volume of this particular juice is 22%, and as you will see right away, it's got a very natural appearance and a very natural look, unlike other coffee liqueurs that are almost black and you really almost can't see through. This one is very opaque. It's got a, I would say, golden amber, walnut brown color to it. It's very clear, not hazy at all. And obviously, because there's sugar involved and alcohol, the viscosity is rather thick and oily. Let's give it a good sniff here. Immediately, I'm hit by that very fresh and lively coffee blast. It's a dense coffee note, very natural, very ethereal, with an almost freshly roasted and freshly ground coffee bean quality to it. I can sense some of the acidity that you would associate with particular coffee roasts, a slight minerality behind that, and then it's all encompassed by a lovely caramel, nutty, walnut and hazelnut cream note. A slight smokiness is there in the back as well, together with a hint of a green herbaceousness that adds a layer of excitement, freshness, liveliness, and together with the acidity that I mentioned before, it lifts the entire nose here and the olfactory quality. So the spirit is never cloying, it's never overly sweet, and for a liqueur, rather characterful, rather complex, and really fun to engage with, to smell and to taste, which is what we're going to do right now. Again, the very first thing that we get here is this blast of lovely, earthy, freshly roasted organic coffee with an interesting and diverse play that it sort of engages and excites the entire palate. There's some sweetness up front, there is bitterness on the side of the tongue and towards the very back. Just a touch of acidity to get the saliva going, to keep the palate engaged, and it truly makes you want to go back for another sip and just take another mouthful of the coffee liqueur. Yes, the sweetness is there, the sweetness is rather prominent, but for a coffee liqueur, it's never overly sugary, overly caramelized, or overly heavy and dense as you would probably experience with some other coffee liqueurs out there. I get marzipan, a little bit of nougat, again some of the nuttiness, some charred tar, a dark mahogany woodiness towards the very back. It's quite a lingering, it's quite a complex and full-bodied experience that I thoroughly enjoy. As you can see, I have two different glasses here in front of me, one being a rather classic old school nosing glass for pure consumption of spirits of all kind. The other one here is a standard rocks or tumbler glass with a large crystal clear ice ball. This is another way I truly love to serve this coffee liqueur, straight up or on the rocks. You could add an orange zest or a lemon zest to add a little bit of the essential oils of the citrus and grant some lightness and freshness. When you, for example, smell the rocks sample here, it's way less prominent, it's way less pungent. I mean, I get some more of the spiciness and the charred oak characters here. It almost feels like a darkly roasted chili, and I have to say, very interesting when the sweetness is tamed down and what you're left with is sort of a clear, focused, rather mineral coffee sensation. So quite an interesting combination or a comparison for you to try out as well. Other than that, I would definitely recommend that you do a coffee and tonic with this. So just get a standard rocks glass or a balloon glass with a large chunk of ice and some of the coffee liqueur. Pour your preferred tonic water on top. You could try Thomas Henry, Fever Tree, even a standard Schweppes. And if you do not like sweetness all too much, probably go for a dry tonic that will truly leave you with that crisp, clean and rather bitter finish. Obviously, this is an amazing choice for your espresso martinis, black Russians or white Russians. If you love some of those classic cocktails, just be aware whenever you pour this into a black or white Russian, the density of the overall drink will be quite different, as will be the appearance, because this is not as dark as some other coffee liqueurs on the market. And in particular with the white Russian, I realized that if you want to float some of the lightly whipped cream on top, you have to play around with the ratios and with the density just a bit in order to get that clear separation of the vodka and coffee liqueur underneath and the cream on top. Some pairing recommendations. I love this with just a handful of walnuts on the side because it beautifully accompanies some of the bitterness, some of the nuttiness that is there. And you would also find the very same combination and this very interesting interplay if you pair it with a rather characterful Nicaraguan cigar with a dark wrapper. I chose the Cuatro Nicaragua, an award-winning cigar from Aging Room that goes beautifully nicely with the Fair Café. Definitely give it a try, and let me reassure you, a slightly less alcoholic beverage other than your cognac, whiskey, or high-proof spirit will probably be an even more enjoyable accompaniment and pairing with your cigar. Also, the slight sweetness just helps tame down some of the bitterness, some of the spice, and some of that very challenging aspect that the cigar can bring to your palate. So a liqueur can be an excellent beverage with cigars for sure. This bottle here, as I already told you, is a bit outdated. Nevertheless, the juice inside is obviously the very same. Nowadays, the bottle crystal clear, clean, minimalistic, representing the beautiful color of the spirit. Comes in a 70 centiliter capacity. It states on the label that it's organic, that it's fair trade certified, and that it's vegan. It will indicate the alcohol by volume, as it has to by law. Up here, the little fair trade emblem for you as well, and a wooden cork on top to seal things off. So it's not the most elaborate of packagings, but it certainly does the trick, and it helps convey a sustainable and sort of organic message and approach without going over the top in terms of packaging here. I would say it is a rather versatile liqueur that you could have in many different ways and fashions. As I said, neat, on ice, as a long drink, in your preferred cocktails, or as an accompaniment with cigars and foods. The bottle of the 70 CL Fair Café will probably set you back somewhere around 25 euros or US dollars, depending on where you are around the world. So it's definitely a more expensive coffee liqueur, but worth your money every single time. Make it quality, enjoy, and get the very best spirits out there for you to enjoy, to pour into your cocktails, or to have neat. That's it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, check out Bespoke Unit, the website, as well as our other social media channels. Stay up to date with our latest content, our latest reviews, and we have definitely used the Bespoke Unit liquor formula for this review as well. You can find a blank copy as well as my entire write-up of the Fair Café Liqueur underneath the live video and in our entire blog post over on the website. Stay tuned. I'll see you next time. And until then, be safe, be well, and with my very best wishes and spirits.